Hello and welcome to another EnsoVN gaming video. This time we'll be taking down the Chaos version of Colossuem. Let's quickly look at the character himself. He is a fighter driven character with 2070 HP and 1357 attack, which is pretty decent stats. His captain ability boosts the attack of driven characters by 2.5 times if you have a matching orb, or 2 times otherwise, which is pretty bad in today's meta. Even for a free to play character, you're probably better off getting someone else. And then his special changes Psi, In, RCV and TND orbs into G orbs and locks your orbs for 1 turn, and if you hit all perfects, changes all G orbs into matching orbs, which is such a slow orb manipulation that it's really not worth using. Pretty mediocre unit overall, so just beat him once, get all the rewards and move on pretty much. So let's take down the first 4 stages before we take down G himself. So the first round is Margaret. She has around 1 million HP and attacks for 3500 attack every turn. That's not too bad, but she does make it so that you can only attack her first and all the mobs around her will despair your friend captain for 5 turns each if they get to live through the first turn. So you want to burst through Margaret first, or use an AoE special to kill all the mobs around her. I messed up and didn't have Sanji ready for this stage, but I still have enough damage to just kill Margaret and most of the mobs on turn 1. And since these mobs only have about 100,000 HP, it's really easy to kill them with basic attacks afterwards. Plus Sanji will be up so I can kill one of them with his special. But you know, you want to make sure to have your specials ready, you know, but when you want to burst on turn 1 and not be silly like me. If you have level 3 anti-despair, then they will actually only despair you for 2 turns. But that's still too much turns to just go through without any specials. But luckily they don't have too much HP, so they're just dead. On to round 2, which will be Ivankov, but this is currently stage 4 of Ivankov, where I'm going to activate one of my Boa specials because the Ivankov will preemptively make all coloured orbs badly matching, but if you use a special that makes orbs matching, then she won't be able to activate it. So Boa will just negate that thing entirely, and then I'll use my second Boa to kill him. Except no, I won't, because I didn't stall out enough turns to use my second Boa, which is really silly of me. So yeah, you can use obviously either an effect like Boa's to make it so that the badly matching effect won't activate, or you can use someone that makes TND and RCV orbs matching and then make all your orbs RCV and TND. You can't use stuff like Gear 4, Neko or Timeskip Luffy because... No, actually, you can use... sorry, you can use Gear 4 and Timeskip Luffy. You can't use Neko because his special only lasts 1 turn, so the preemptive will always go through first. But anything that lasts more than 1 turn, like Timeskip Luffy and Gear 4, should be fine. Ivankov doesn't really do anything other than that. She does have 3 million HP, but that's still not too much for that team. On to round 3, there's another annoying effect. On stage 2 of it, you will face this Kraken. That gives you a really small attack and orb boost. They're about 10%, so that's really bad compared to the ×2 you want normally. So I'm going to bring Cavendish. You can use a friend captain if you don't have him, like I'm using here. You can also just use like a free-to-play quick team, like with an Enel and just a bunch of quick mobs, and you'll probably be able to beat this. Just use Cavendish before you get to the final stage, so that he clears out the terrible 1.1 times attack boost and orb boost, so that you can use your actual powerful ones on the final stage. So here you get to be Hakuba for a bit, which is nice, but we're not actually going to use that for the actual burst turn. You can actually use it to burst him if you feel like it, but I'm just going to use the stash of boosts instead. Now on to actually fighting Abdullah Rajit. They cut your HP by 50% on preemptive, and that's pretty much it. They have 3 million HP, and if you let them live onto turn 3, they'll enrage everyone, but that's not going to happen. Just use all your specials pretty much. Timeskip Zoro's special will just kill up all the mobs anyway. Mihawk, the HP cut was kind of unnecessary, but it's just nice to have since he's a quick slasher. Kinemon doesn't do anything because we're below 70% HP, and Sanji will lock my chain. So as I said before, you can just use a free-to-play quick team if you want, and pair it up with a Legend Cavendish, and it'll be pretty easy. But yeah, these have been some really weird rounds. On to round 4 is Don Chinjiao. I'm using a 6+ Shanks team. I actually bought a skull to do this, but the main reason I bought the skull was to get the point boost for the future treasure map. Just activate all your specials except for one of your attack boosters. I'm going to use the Devil one now here. And then just burst him. But you want to make sure that you don't use anyone to kill him that hasn't used their special or is your captain, because after death, Don Chinjiao will revive with half of his HP and bind whoever killed him for 5 turns. So he comes back with roughly 2 million HP and will lock my Frankie. Then I just use my other Stronghold Shank special to get matching orbs again, and then Impact Usopp to give me a ×2 attack boost, and burst him once again. So that's a total of 6 million HP, and you know what, this Stronghold Shanks team kind of struggled, even though he's facing an enemy, which is kind of sad. But he got the job done, I guess. Now let's quickly look at the team I'm going to be using to beat the actual Lao G stage. So I'm pretty much just going to zombie it because it's not really worth the time and effort to make a decent team. This is probably pretty fast anyway. I'm using Legend Magellan to deal with the final stage, which is Lao G, and pretty much every other special just to fight Don Jinzhao again on stage 4. If you don't have Legend Magellan, you can just use regular Raid Magellan to beat the stage, or even just use Double Magellan. It should still be able to beat it pretty fine. The main thing you're gonna need to do is just to get beat through stage 4. So you can actually use like a real zombie team with like the Rocket Man and like a Brook zombie captain, but this is obviously just a little bit faster. Do note that Lao G does silence all specials belonging to slashers, shooters and strikers for 2 turns. So if you don't have someone like Timeskip Nami that is also immune to silence and remove silence, you may have to bring someone that is a delayer that's either a fighter or one of the other 4 classes while not holding those 3 classes. You'll also need some form of heal or damage reduction before the poison fully kills him, because he does cut your HP by quite a lot during the fight. So with all that said, let's get started. So we're going to jump straight into round 4, which will be Don Jinzhao again. I'm going to slowly kill him over several turns for some reason. I don't know why I didn't just burst him immediately. I got this because Aokiji isn't up, because I'm so bad at stalling now for some reason. So I'm going to attack him. So he's just above 50%, so he doesn't attack for 44,000 damage. Now that he's on a cooldown, I'm just going to attack him without worrying of dropping him low, because he doesn't actually interrupt you, it's only just on attack. So get him down to 20%, it doesn't really matter. And I get 2 TND orbs, but I'm just going to burst him anyway with Aokiji, since he only has like a couple 100,000 damage left. Don't even bother using a Neko special, those sweet speedrunning strats. And then once again he revives, he's going to lock the Aokiji this time since he's the last one I attacked with. Just again make sure that you don't attack him with a Neko so that they get locked, or the Magellan, or the Timeskip Nami. Or the, I know, you can get the Alvida locked, it's not that big a deal. Then on second turn just burst him, you'll still have the Aokiji special, and using a Neko special you get some more matching orbs. And he's dead. Pretty straightforward. Now onto the thing that's super annoying, is Lao Ji himself. He has 3 million HP, attacks every turn for 6,000 damage, and every turn will change your orbs into G orbs, which is mildly annoying, and very annoying for Neko teams. So if you don't know what G orbs do, they pretty much count as matching orbs, except they only boost your orbs by your attack by 1.5 times instead of times 2 of the normal type orbs. Plus Neko Mamushi gets no attack boost once you have G orbs, and he does it every single turn. So I'm just gonna let the Magellan special kill him. So once he uses below roughly 80% HP, he will cut your HP by 50% before attacking, and then does the exact same thing once again once he drops below 50% HP. And then he will also attack after he cuts your HP. So I believe the next turn he will cut my HP in half. I'm just going to tank that hit normally. Having that Nami special is really nice since she also delays him, so he doesn't hit you for about 18,000 damage on the first 2 turns as well. And then I'm going to use the Alvida special now, since the poison will drop him below 50%. And that will drop me down to like 6,000. And I think I'd live, but just with a tiny amount of HP. So Alvida wasn't necessary, but it's just a nice safety tool, since your HP might range a little bit, depending on like your crew and cotton candy. So here it cuts my HP once again. And then attacks. Actually, I wouldn't have lived. That's weird. Anyway. And then this turn the poison will just kill him. So yeah, Legend Magellan's pretty sweet. Overall, this for a 30 stam Colossuem is actually quite hard. So I could see a lot of people having trouble with it, but yeah, it's probably not worth farming him anyway, so just get your 1 copy and just leave. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Post any other teams you might have in the comments down below. Join the Discord if you like. If you're feeling generous, you can donate to the PayPal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, my nakama.